HISD Dance would like to remind you to be safe while dancing. Make sure that you're wearing proper dance attire and that you clear the space around you. If you're dancing on the carpet, wear bare feet. But if you're dancing on hardwood floors or hard surfaces, make sure to wear dance shoes or non-slippery socks. Get ready to have a great time.
Hi, I'm Justine Gingell, dance teacher for HISD. Hola, soy profesora de baile at HISD. And today, you and I are going to be exploring our personal space and our general space through non-locomotor movements and locomotor movements. We're also going to be exploring how bees communicate, because bees are a lot like dancers. I'll tell you more about it in a little bit, but that's why we're here. In this beautiful grove of trees that are blooming with beautiful flowers. Because I know that when you and I become bees today, we're gonna love being by the flowers. All right, dancers, are you ready to move? I am. I love to move into dance. I bet you do too, especially after a long day of school. Today, to begin, we're going to make a magic T shape. Like this. My body's in the shape of the letter T. And now we're gonna twist and make sure that we're not touching anything. So I just touched the tree, so I'm gonna step forward a little bit. And I'm gonna twist again to make sure that it's safe for me to dance and move, and that I'm not touching the trees or anything around me. Did you know that touch, twist, and tree all begin with the letter T? Amazing, dancers. So make the shape of the letter T. Let's twist and let's identify our personal space. Your personal space is everywhere you can go without moving around the room. Let's explore dancing in our personal space together. Remember, your personal space is everywhere you can touch and dance without moving through the room. It's our non-locomotor movement. So you can move smooth and light, or staccato and sharp. You can kick, twist, turn, drop, stretch. How does your body want to move today? You decide, and let's explore together. You can be very heavy, or decide that you're gonna float. You can move fast, or you could move so slow you can barely tell anything is changing. That's our timing. How long you do something, how fast you do something, has to do with timing. You can do things on a high level. You can do them on a middle level. This is how we use our body. And you can, of course, go down low in your personal space. not moving through the room yet. It's just our personal space. This is your energy, how much force you give a movement. A lot or just a little. Whether it's smooth or sharp. How do you want to move? Now it's time to use another one of our T words. We're going to travel through the space. When we travel through the space, we're leaving our personal space and we're moving into our general space, space that we share with other people. So anytime you travel and you move in locomotor movement, you're using your general space. Can you think of some ways to move through general space? I'll give you a minute. I just used one. Let me show it to you. What other ways can you think of to get from here to over there? What was that? We could hop? Let's see. You're right. What other ideas do you have? We could slide. We could crawl. We could even crab walk. What other ways can you think of to travel through general space? All right, dancers, let's use some T words. We're gonna travel through the space, our general space, and try to not touch anything. How can you move through the space? Backwards? Forwards? Can you run? Can you slide? You decide. You can jump or leap. You could dance. Turn. How do you want to move? Do you want to move fast? Or do you want to move slow through your general space? Do you want to move with a lot of force? Or only a little? Really chill, relaxed. Do you want to move sharp, like a robot, staccato? Or smooth? Moving through the space is so much fun. I hope you're having fun. Now, when we move through this space, we're using what we call pathways, El Camino. So you can move, let me stand up to show you. You can move on a straight pathway, muy recto, forward or backwards. You can move on a zigzag pathway, one that goes one direction, then the other, in straight lines. Or you can move on a curved pathway, El Camino Curvo, right? One like the letter S or a circle. Curved pathways like this. Let's try moving on a straight pathway. Any movement you want. You decide. I'm choosing my movement. Now, let's try moving on a zigzag pathway. You can choose your movement. I'm choosing jumps this time. How'd you do? And now, let's try moving on a curved pathway. Like an S or a circle. You can move up high with your body. You can move in the middle with your body. Or you can choose to move down low on your curved pathway. How'd you do? Now that we know a little bit more about how to use the dance elements, our bodies, our energy, our space, and our timing, it's time to put that knowledge to work in a dance. Today, we're going to learn a little bit about bees. I bet you didn't know that bees dance to communicate. Did you know that bet and bee also both begin with the letter B? I did. B makes the B sound. Can you make that sound with me? B. High five. Great job, dancers. So we're going to learn how bees communicate with their bodies. Another B word. Before we begin talking about bees' dances, I want to talk a little bit about bees and how important they are. Bees travel from flower to flower, collecting nectar to make honey. And as they do that, they carry pollen from one plant to another, making it possible for plants to produce seeds. Without the bees, we wouldn't have plants growing everywhere. Bees dance to communicate. They have the waggle dance that tells bees where the flowers are and where the nectar is. They have the shake dance. The shake dance tells bees when there's more bees needed to collect that nectar. And they have the tremble dance. The tremble dance tells them when more bees are needed to process the nectar. Did you know that dancers communicate meaning through their movements too? Just like bees, dancers communicate a story. Like in the Nutcracker, a story about Clara who gets a toy and it brings her to a magical land of the sweets. And you dance and learn about other cultures. Or the ballet Cinderella, where a young girl is mistreated by her stepmother and eventually goes to a ball and becomes a princess after she meets the prince. So both dancers and bees communicate with their bodies. All right, now it's time to move like bees. Let's think about how a bee moves. Do they move fast or slow? Do they move up high or do they move down low? Do they have moments of stillness or are they moving all the time? It's probably a little bit of each. Bees might move fast and fly high and then swoop down low to get nectar from a flower before moving on. So I want you to think and create your own bee movement. When you create your own dances, it's called creative movement. So today, you and I are doing creative movement inspired by bees. Are you moving with a lot of force? Very percussive wings? Or are your wings smooth? Are you always up high? Or do you have moments down low, little bee? Does your bee turn? Or does it always move straight? Will your bee move on a zigzag? Que camino? Which pathway does your bee like to use? Maybe your bee travels on a curved pathway. Maybe it moves backwards. Maybe it's a slow bee, gliding with non-percussive wings. Or maybe its wings are very percussive. Okay, dancers, let's review what we learned today. Today, we learned about our personal space. Everywhere we can dance without moving through the room. We also learned about our general space, the space we use and share with others as we travel through locomotor movements. Then we talked about bees and how bees communicate through movement and dance, just like you and I do in dance class. Then we created our own movements. That's called creative movement, when you create your own dances. And it's a moment for you to lead yourself and find your own creative voice. Now, we're going to do a little review. Identify whether some of my movements are in my personal space or in my general space. I'll show you the movement and then I'll give you a moment to decide. Then we'll check our answers together.
How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer was general space. How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer is personal space. How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer was general space. How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer was general space. How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer is personal space.
Together.
How did I use my space? A, personal space, or B, general space? The correct answer is personal space. In the coming week, practice dancing in your personal and general space. Perform your bee dance for your family, friends, your pet, or even a stuffed animal.
Remember, dancers, perform for a friend or family member. You can even send a video or a picture of you dancing to your teacher. I'm sure they'd love to see your work. See you next time right here on HISD Dance from Home. Adios!